And did I ask you about this, Frank, on the housing for kpeII site, the application to build houses?
Adjourn that one.
No, that's the one that, okay. Okay, so then why don't we, this is not litigation, we can discuss it here.
That's correct.
Okay, so Bob, you want to leave on that?
That's kpeII till you left it.
Okay.
Step out.
And then after that, when he gets back,
On the site, if you consider it, maybe we can discuss at some point for the next work session. That was for a letter from Commissioner Duckham with respect to the
Communications tower.
communications tower and zoning, the exemption for public purposes. You can all take a look at that memo, and maybe the next work session we can have a decision as to how you want to handle it. Or the board could also just instruct me to advise the board on it, and then I can present the memo to the
well,
board.
but it really is a legal question.
It's a legal question, but it requires, consideration and by the town board. And what I don't want to do is give the board a memo saying I recommend doing this.
No, but I think the memo from you should say, yes, you can do it.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know what...
Yes or no. Yep.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
So my point is, what I'd like to do in the board's submission is I'll do a memo to the board reviewing everything
Right.
and make a recommendation, and the board at the next meeting, which you can then either accept or refuse, whatever you want to do, but at least it's resolved.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. A zoning petition has been received regarding the construction of housing on the kpeII site.
Yes.
You sent a memo to the board to review before we set it for advertisement for public hearing.
Yes.
Correct?
This was the board's request. We would send it first in advance, and then
Right.
you would discuss what to do. I would mention, however,
Well,
that...
let me finish, and then you can discuss it.
Sure.
There was a paragraph here in your memo. The site has been the subject of recent litigation. The petition describes the current use as vacant, former precast concrete products, industrial yard, and concrete cesspool storage. What did you mean by that? It's not that anymore.
No, that's what's described in the application.
Right.
We did not comment on, that's not an editorial comment, that's just what's in the application. That's what they described.
That's the description they put in.
Yes. We would describe it differently, but we let it go at that.
Supervisor, if I just might, this is on the kpeII site. I wasn't aware that the application, I heard the application was filed, I haven't seen anything. But whatever the board does in this, we have to be mindful, and that will be executive session discussion, how this ties into the litigation.
We did call Martin on this, just to let you know.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay.
Well, the residents still feel they're breaking the court orders, are they?
No.
No, John just sent the memo.
I sent the memo to the board. I met with Michelle Gary and Larry Shaw yesterday. I explained to them briefly the activities engaged in are consistent with the order of Justice Pitts, and based upon information that's provided to me by public safety, they're not violating the order. And I have a memo that went out yesterday.
Frank, did you send it? Did we all get that memo? I don't. Yeah.
I sent it to everyone.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get it either.
Everybody got it.
Take a look at the bottom.
And there's then computer problems downstairs, so.
Yeah, we have. I haven't seen
Look at the back. Now see if people copy. No, Frank, the next page.
What's the next page? No, this was sent out. Elaine sent it out.
It went by email.
Okay.
To everybody but the supervisor.
Elaine, could you do us a favor? We've had 2 days of computer nightmares downstairs. So can you just send us a hard copy over?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay.
But the paragraph that I referenced, I've been called, what does that mean?
Basically, all this means is this is what the applicant put in his application.
I see. Okay.
We did not acknowledge that was an accurate statement.
Okay.
We just said, this is, just for your own benefit, this is what the applicant said his site is being used for right now. So in other words, if you were to ask me to describe that particular site and what is permissible or what is happening there on the site, it would be different from what is included here.
Okay. So what does it mean to a town board that's going to deal with that their description is not accurate?
Well, I think what,
Is it illegal?
Well, actually, I think that's their description as they see it. You can't really say that, we could say we differ an opinion, but if they describe their property, it's like we've always had with secret. One person says it's one thing, another person says it's another. That's their description of their site. Now, your description, you give us a description, what you feel it is, but it's two different people's
But their
opinions.
description is not accurate, and so people concerned about it, I don't know what it means very much.
you're correct very much on this, Supervisor. I'm not disagreeing with you on this. However, this is the applicant's position. When we hold the public hearing, you will get a memo from me which will describe.
Let's be practical here. I would think that every one of us here, I would speak for, would like to see houses there, or
Yes.
some form of residential zoning. Does that description there alter the application?
No. Right, and
kpe2 only,
that's correct.
not Jiswell.
That's correct.
Okay.
And that's an important point, though.
Sure is, because we're plunking a residential
That's
community
the
if we
job.
approve that
Right.
back down right next to industry.
Okay.
Which we should have done the first.
The attorney for both parties is the same. And what I asked the attorney, and we had meetings on this, which is what Councilman Wareheim is alluding to, which is a very important factor, is that the board is not going to be able to mind to build a residential complex right next to an actively operating sand mine operation or sand processing or whatever, or mulching or whatever you want to call it. So both parties have to come in with something for a rezoning.
Let me just play, I'm not a lawyer,
Mhm.
but I'll act like a lawyer.
But you play on TV.
They have an absolute right to make that application.
Yes.
Town board has an obligation to hear it, and then,
You
based on what you're saying.
don't even have an obligation. You don't have an
All right,
obligation.
You don't have an obligation. But,
Mhm.
in the final analysis, the town board will say, no, we are going to deny this application based on its proximity to all these obnoxious
Well, the reason I'm mentioning this is these are important factors, and the board may want to say, in this particular case, hypothetically, that if another application is coming in, maybe you would want to schedule them the same evening, or maybe you would want to consider them at the same time, because they're all going to contain the same issues that are going to be relevant to the board, and that would, if that's what they're doing, maybe that's what we should do. That would be my recommendation at this point, barring the town attorney's.
What is your recommendation?
I would recommend that we postpone this until the attorney mentioned to me that Judge Wally intends to have an application shortly coming in. And my recommendation to the board would be to consider both applications the same night. If that's the case, then I will advise them. If the attorney to accept it, I can't do anything about it. But first off, I don't accept the application. It's the town clerk that accepts the
But you
application.
know what I mean.
Yes,
The town accepts the application.
yes,
Is it incumbent to hear it?
no.
No. Okay.
It's a legislative act, so
Okay,
it's up
fair
to the
enough.
board.
Okay, that answers that question. I'm out of paper.
Just killed 7 trees over there.